So I have done now a few microphone videos. All of them have only been one or two microphones at a time, generally whatever microphone I am testing out at that time, and also the Atrix microphone, which has now become a staple in a lot of my videos when I'm doing microphone videos because it's a great sounding microphone for the price. See the video if you don't know the price. However, for that price, you're also getting a light and a webcam. Now, what if you're only wanting to put that money into a microphone? Well, I picked some microphones that I think are about the right price for this. So, let's look at these. Side note here, there are some differences between the Atrix microphone and the microphones here. Mostly to begin with, these microphones are made by name brands, being Blue with the Blue Snowball, a $50 mic that I would consider to be one of the best budget microphones you can get. The Razer Siren Mini, of course in pink, because why not, man? You gotta make your videos pop, right? Another big name brand in gaming, and finally Jlab, which I just did a video on last week. Please go see that. That was a great video. I did a great job, I think, and I definitely am not like just patting my own back. And of course, to finish the lineup, like I said earlier, the Atrix microphone. One of the best microphones you can get for $80, while the rest of these are $50. I do think that GameStop could honestly sell this on their own, just this microphone, for $50, and I wouldn't really argue with it. It's not a horrible microphone. Let's get to that testing. But before we get to that, don't forget to like the video if you like the video, subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget, I stream on Twitch every Sunday and Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hope to see you there. I'm going to get these all unboxed, because two of them at the very least I have not opened yet. And then I'm going to do a couple voice tests, as well as talk about all the interesting features, because there are other features of some microphones that the Atrix and Jlab don't have, that the Razer and the Blue microphone do. Alright everybody, right now we are looking at the Snowball from Blue. This is the ice one. Don't worry about that, that's just a box. Important things to know about this. So far, the main thing I'm noticing about this mic right now is that it doesn't have an audio jack, so you can't plug in your headset so you don't get the live feedback so you know how you're sounding while you're doing that. Mind you, that's not always the best way of dealing with it. I would recommend always doing something like this, recording how you sound and then editing it until you get it just how you like it. Doing that is going to make things a lot better for how it sounds to your viewers and things like that. Also to mention, there is a red light to know when this thing is working, so you know it is on. I don't see any kind of buttons on this, so there isn't really a way for me to mute this without going into the computer. There is only a USB. It is a mini USB, I believe. It's not a micro USB. It is a USB though in the end. This is also an older microphone, so I would expect that from an older microphone. And for $50, it's really good. What really is impressive though is the software. Blue has its own software, which, if you give me a second here, their software is called Sherpa, and what I know of it so far is that you can control the gain, the patterns depending on the microphone itself, and things like that. Now, it also does control the firmware. However, the Blue microphone is a plug-and-play microphone still. You can just plug it in and go in and you're good. You don't have to download the Sherpa app. I have not. I don't plan to so far. If you guys would like me to, I could do another video using this microphone as well as their software and see if there's any difference really and compare it to another microphone. Honestly, I would like to get the Elgato Wave and test it and test all of those softwares against each other and see which one is the best. I feel like I know the answer to that is going to be, but it would be a fun video to do. So let me know what you think about that. But let's move on to the next mic. Alright everybody, this is the Razer Siren Mini. There's a few things different with this, but there's also some very good similarities. They're both, I believe, cardioid mics. The Snowball is, however, quite a bit chunkier than the Razer. It's definitely a heavier mic. While it is a plastic casing for both, there's a lot more inside this than what's inside of here, which makes me more interested in what's inside here. By the way, I also noticed it's a Pokeball. Just couldn't resist myself there, sorry. So I tried looking through some of the literature. I couldn't find anything exactly saying what all's with this. I do, however, believe, if I remember correctly, that this mic is controllable through Razer's own software, which is Razer Synapse. I've never used it because I don't own any Razer products, but I hear Razer Synapse is not always the best app to deal with, but that could just be a personal thing. I don't know. I've never had to deal with it, so I am noticing, though, that I am slightly a little louder on this one than I was on the Yeti. So, but it is still saying in that little yellow area, it is occasionally going into the red. So, depending on how this sounds and what's going on, I'll have to tune this down, so do keep that in mind. That was a big thing for the Jlab. More on that in a second. So, this is the Jlab mic. It is another $50 mic. Some differences with this mic, though, is it does not have any software. It does have an audio jack, so I can plug in my headset to get some instant feedback. That way I can hear how I'm sounding if I'm too loud or if I sound a little off and I'm clipping. I'm not using that currently because this currently is just a video for you guys to listen to and for me to give an objective look at all of these mics and to see if there's one I'd recommend over the other for a beginning streamer, YouTuber, or even just to use in a Discord chat, because some people do use $50 mics like that. Let's move on. We got the Atrix next, and then we're gonna have some fun. This is the Atrix microphone from GameStop. It is a bundle microphone, so you can only get this microphone currently in the streaming bundle from GameStop. This streaming bundle comes with a light, which I am using in my setup. It is actually really good light. More on that light in the full review I have of this kit, as well as a webcam. I will say that the webcam is absolute trash. You shouldn't get it. Don't even think about it. The microphone, however, is exemplary in this fact of a $50 mic. I would say this mic is about $40 to $50 worth. I would say that for these three items, the only one I would objectively say is important to buy is this microphone. For what it does, for what it can do, it's amazing. I don't like the fact there's no software I can get from Atrix or GameStop that I can download and EQ with. I can EQ with OBS again, and if I were to use it, I'm sure I could make this thing sound even better than my Shure MV7 that I use as my daily, because I will at some point most likely switch to XLR. Not positive on that, though, because I do hear there are some issues with how it sounds when you switch to XLR with this specific microphone. But it is an option I am looking at down the road. And as I am right now looking, I am not getting too loud on my microphone but I am occasionally getting into that red, and that's perfectly fine. You do want to stay mostly in that yellow area, though. That yellow area of your volume meter is very important to stay in, because that's about the perfect kind of volume you can get. Red's too loud, but it happens sometimes when you're getting heated in a gaming and things like that. Now, I'm going to do another test entirely. I didn't do it with any of the other mics yet, and this is going to be how well it can pick up my keyboard when I'm playing on a game. So let's get into that. So to start with, the Atrix will be the first one to go because it was the last microphone to go for the audio test. And just so everybody knows, I should have given this a bit more of a clean before I did this. This is going to be my Logitech G915 Lightspeed. It is a linear key, so it shouldn't be too loud, but it's good for what I use it for. So let's start. So we're doing this how I would be playing a video game right now. So I'm hitting mostly the WASD key, occasionally the 1, 2, 3 and the space bar. We're going to get some arrow keys in there, and that's more or less how this is going to go. Let's just get moving and we'll get all these microphones done. Alrighty, so this is the Blue Snowball microphone. Let's get to that testing. Ooh, that's a little loud. I got a little loud there. That's going to be interesting. I can't wait to look at the video for this. But here's what it sounds if you were playing on it. Again, doing WSID right now, hitting that spacebar, do some jumps. Playing a little bit of a harder game, I guess, if you were doing this. But, you know, you gotta do what you gotta do to win that game. Beat those monsters, beat that boss. Alrighty, so this is again the Razer Siren Mini. Let's get on to that clickety-clackety test. Doesn't sound too bad from here. It doesn't look like it's too bad on the audio for the OBS. We will see, though, in the actual recording. I don't think it's overtaking me in how I sound, but we'll definitely find out. Alrighty, so here we go. We've got this all set up. Let's just get on to the keyboard testing now. So as you can see, I think you can very easily tell that the keyboard is a little louder, just going off of the volumes that I'm seeing over on my OBS. But I can't tell too well from right where I am. I currently have it set to -6 dB just to kind of play around with it. So I'm not sure how all this will do. So let's get a look at these recordings, and I'm going to give you my little synopsis. So let's talk about that. We're just going to start with the bad stuff on all of this and go into the good stuff. We'll start with the Blue Snowball. It sounds to me, when I'm listening to the Snowball while I'm talking, that my voice is kind of tinny. I'm not sure what's causing this. I'm sure I could kind of take care of it with some EQing, but I'm not positive because I haven't tried. And that's not something I want to say for sure I can fix without trying. Now, also, it is significantly loud compared to the other mics, except for the Jlab. Out of the box, so you will have to take down your dB a little bit. I would say somewhere around 5 to 6 is a little bit around where you need to take it down to. Just lessen it by about 5 or 6 decibels. Other than that, it does sound okay, and with the app, you can definitely make this sound better. The EQing ability of the app, of Blue's app, is significantly good. It can do a lot, and that is important. EQing on a USB mic is imperative when it comes to them. They only sound as good out of the box as they can, but the apps that come with them gives the mic its worth. So up next will be the Jlab mic. This mic's a conundrum for me because it says studio quality USB mic, and that hurts me. It really does, because it does sound good when it's about 4 or 5 inches away, not the recommended 1 to 2. If it's right up against your mouth like almost all these other mics should be, it's way too loud, it's clippy, and things like that. It sounds amazing otherwise if you keep it far away. And even then it's too loud, so you need to lower down the decibels again. Again, I recommend somewhere around 10 to 15 for this one because of the clipping. It'll be less harsh if you have it close. Again, there's no software I could find for Jlab on this. They have an app. I think it's a phone app, so it's not meant for EQing that. I don't really know what it's for other than buying Jlab stuff, I think, and then tuning the earbuds, but I don't see how it helps with this mic. I recommend Jlab makes an app for this, but I don't think they're going to, because they did do a decent job with this mic. It's way too sensitive, and the audio dial on it is pointless because it's only going to change the volume for what you hear and not for what everybody else hears. So you're going to have to rely on recording yourself to listen to yourself to get the right volume set in on your settings in OBS, or your friends yelling at you that you're way too loud and your mic's a piece of crap, because that's what happens when you're on Discord. Now we get to the good stuff. The Razer Siren Mini really impressed me. I mean, for its price, and the fact the other two weren't exactly impressive in an amount that gave me pause, this one gave me a little bit of pause. It had clarity, a clarity that I can't really put my finger on. For some reason, to me, it sounded really clear and decently profound in the way of how it sounds. It sounded like as if I was listening to myself and I was talking to myself, like right in front of me. I was talking to myself. You know, that just sounds insane, right? The mic sounds amazing, and if I am correct that the Razer Synapse app can allow you to EQ this, if you can get a decent EQing on this, I would say this mic's amazing. I would say that this is a great streaming mic, and for all of other Razer's downfalls with that app, because I don't hear many good things about that app for many of the content creators for computers, you can make this mic sound as good or better than my $200 Shure microphone. And then we get to the final one, the Atrix Microphone. Out of the box, this thing sounds amazing. Sounds as good as the Razer one, almost. There are a couple things where it doesn't do as well, though. So, this microphone doesn't have an app for it. Just like the Jlab, it doesn't have an app for it, but that's because this microphone wasn't made by a bigger brand. This one was made by a GameStop. It was a streaming bundle kit. So I can give a pass for that. But there are plenty of third-party EQing ones you can do on this. And with those third-party EQs, you can get this mic to sound pretty darn good. Probably even better than it already does, which would be a feat, in my opinion. That does still complete us for our budget mic war, as I'm going to now call it. How do you guys think this went? Did you like this? Do you want to see more things like this? Leave a comment down below if you guys want to see more of these, or like the video, that way I can know. And you should like the video anyways. And also don't forget to subscribe to my channel. And also don't forget, I stream on Twitch every Sunday and Thursday at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Hope to see you there. With that out of the way, I hope to see you guys next time, and have a good day.